Okay, hot take. Your skin might be more productive than you at night. While you're drooling on your pillow, your skin is putting in that work, and we are going to talk about it today. Let's be real. How many of us go to sleep at night without washing their face, without washing your makeup off? No judgment, we've all been there. I certainly have. But let's be honest, your skin deserves better.
Remember, not the way I do. It's getting late September, and I still think about you.
Welcome back to another episode of Sensitive Conversations with Cetaphil, where today we are talking about what actually happens to your skin while you sleep. We have Dr. Elyse Love with us here today, and she's going to be talking through the science about what our skin is going through, what it's doing while we are snoozing away. So, Dr. Love, before we
Yes.
get into today's topic,
Yes.
we like to do a little rapid fire so we get to know you a little bit more. The audience gets to know more about Dr. Love.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. So, what is one skincare trend that secretly drives you nuts?
I would say the skincare trend that drives me nuts is the fact that we have forgotten what normal skin looks like. With the fact that filters and makeup are pretty much everywhere, we use them all of the time. I have patients come in with the most beautiful skin and they are bothered by their pores. They're bothered by the most minimum pigmentation. And so I love any creator who is just putting it out there and being very honest about what their normal healthy skin looks like.
We were literally just talking about
Really?
this. Yes, like just talking about this because with social media, like the expectations that people have of what, you know, perfect skin is, there is no perfect skin and pores are normal. You cannot
Exactly.
get rid of your pores. You just
You
can't.
should not get rid of your pores.
No, like yeah, I guess there's what is the if you don't have pores, if you don't have oil, then it's not protecting your skin or something. There's like
Yeah.
there's a reason for pores. There's a reason why our body does the
Exactly.
things that it does, right? It's to protect ourselves.
Exactly.
So yeah, you need the pores. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be
Yeah.
ashamed of. I love
We
that.
are, the human body, including the skin at a very molecular level, is brilliant. And so, yeah, we need all of the functions that we have. It's just that we're so used to like swiping very quickly and getting rid of them, but we don't realize when we're consuming content that everyone is filtered.
And I love that you're addressing that as a dermatologist because you see skin all the time. So you of all people know what the average person looks like, or even the above average. Like you mentioned, these patients come in, they have
Yeah.
beautiful skin, but they still, have opinions about their own skin, thinking, "Oh my gosh, what could be so much better?" And it's like, this is the way it's supposed to look like. This is healthy, beautiful skin. So.
Yeah. I think it hit me one day in the office where I was just like, oh my gosh, I am one of the few people that gets to see skin
Mm-hmm.
naturally,
Mm-hmm.
that gets to actually see skin without filters, that gets to see skin without makeup. Because even think about when you're going to work, when you're having dinner with your friends, like, no, everyone is perfecting themselves to a certain degree. And so I just think that we've lost that level of just like vulnerability with our skin,
Yeah.
even with the people that we're most intimate and we're most close
Right.
with. And
Right.
so it is a weird thing. And that I spend a good amount of time just talking to people about what's natural and what's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
What is the worst thing someone can do to their skin before bed?
Yeah, so I actually think the worst thing you can do to your skin before bed is wash it and not put a moisturizer on. Like, I actually think I would rather you go to bed without washing your face
Oh.
versus washing your skin where you're opening up, you're essentially disrupting your skin barrier and then not replenishing it with moisturizer. I think you're really setting yourself up in that situation to wake up with like dry, irritated skin.
Yeah.
And we'll get into, all the things that happen at night and
Yes.
why that is the case.
Love. Next question. What was your high school skincare routine that you would never do again?
I was thinking about this and I don't think I was that bad in high school. I think that luckily, I feel like I grew up where like there actually weren't that many great products. So I never did like the Noxema or like the intense toner. I think I just had routines that weren't good enough for me. So like
Like, what were you doing?
so I think I was doing just like probably some acne cleanser in the morning and some like whatever popular over the counter moisturizer. I did have pretty significant acne growing up, and I think that with the products I was using, I wasn't properly compensating for the
Mhm.
dryness and the irritation. So I definitely don't think I had the right products as a teenager, but I don't think that I was causing my acne, and I
Right.
don't think I was making things worse. I think that I just didn't have access to the best routine for me.
Yeah, that's so fair. I feel like I've said this before, I'll say it again. Growing up, well, what's funny is everyone, I think it's changed somewhat now with
Yeah.
social media because you see more and more derms,
Yeah. Access to
debunking, yeah,
education. Yeah.
access to education. But, Google was my doctor for so long. And so I felt like I was the master at all things skincare. Like I was like a little dermatologist. And looking back, I'm like, I did not know anything. I thought I knew everything. I mean, that's like a tale as old as time
Yeah.
as a kid, right? Like as a child, you feel like you
Everything.
know everything and you know nothing at all, or not as much as you think you do. But I would read things and I'd be like, oh, it's non-comedogenic, so it's not clogging my pores. It's not going to cause acne, and I would kind of look for products with that, and that was like literally the only basis I was going off of, not thinking about, oh, well, I didn't know inflammation was the root cause of acne. So
Yeah.
when I would pick out these products, it didn't occur to me that, oh, they have all these ingredients. I'm like, oh, it must be so good, like for your skin. There's all these benefits, but then it could actually not be what my skin needs because maybe I'm irritated to some of the ingredients in the
Yeah.
products or whatever, which is why I love Cetaphil products. And again, not just saying that because I work for the brand, but the formulation is so minimal, and like they only include ingredients that are necessary, so to speak, where
Yeah.
it's like it offers a true benefit to the skin without including those potentially irritating ingredients that can cause acne. And I just got off a tangent there. But talking about like our high school like
No, I
routines, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I was doing like I thought I was doing all the right things and did everything I could to try to educate myself. But there's there's
it's so
this
funny.
nuance, yeah.
It's so different these days. Like
Hmm.
I have my teenagers come in and they know, I mean, they really have quite fantastic
Yeah, you're
routines
like,
because there's
oh
so
yeah.
much access to education, like this podcast and social media and even websites. I didn't know any of those things. Like I don't even know if I knew what non-comedogenic was
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
was in high school
yeah.
because I, we didn't have Google. Like we didn't have
Right.
skincare
Mhm.
education. So
Mhm.
it was just whatever was being marketed as the product to use was the product that I feel like everyone was using. And so I do think that that's one of the most exciting things about now is that
Mhm.
there is this understanding that all of our skin is different, and it is very overwhelming that
Mhm.
there are so many skincare products, but it also gives people the opportunity to find that right product that's going to either be all that they need for their skincare routine or complement, any in-office treatments that they're doing. And
Mhm.
so I completely agree. I actually was looking at the Cetaphil website the other day and I was like, I love that they have every ingredient that they use in
Mhm.
their products.
Yeah.
Just like because that's so hard to find sometimes. Patients
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, I'm using this product," and I'm like searching, trying to find what ingredient is in it to see if they
Mhm.
can keep using it. And so I love when ingredients are the focus, both what's in the product and also what's not in the product.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Love. So
Yeah.
let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
So, what actually happens to our skin while we sleep?
Yeah. So I love that we're talking about this topic because their skin is talked about all day, every day, but I feel like this is actually not a very understood or like a topic that's given enough attention. And so when we think about the circadian rhythm, we often think about ourselves. So we
Mhm.
know that we tend to be more awake during the day. We tend to be more productive during the day. That's when most people go to work, they kind of do any of their tasks. And then when we sleep, we kind of understand that that's when we repair, it's when we process, it's when we, store our long-term memories, it's when our muscles repair themselves. But when we think about our skin, it's the exact same thing. So our skin has a job. It is not just aesthetic. The main purposes of our skin is that it protects us from the outside environment. So it protects us from UV radiation. It protects us from sun damage. It protects us from potential infection causing bacteria or fungi. It also helps with vitamin D synthesis. So that's going to happen during the day. And it helps regulate body temperature. So when we think about sweating, and the skin can definitely like upregulate and downregulate sweating. So those are all the productive things that the skin is doing during the day. And so when nighttime comes around, the skin actually repairs itself. So what it's going to do is that if you did get some damage from the environment, it's going to actually work on repairing any of that DNA damage that's happened overnight.
Okay.
It also just gets to kind of relax a little. So we know that there's increased transepidermal water loss because the skin, our pores are actually a little bit more open. We're like losing a little bit more water in the
Oh,
nighttime.
okay.
And that can actually be a good thing because we also, there's more blood flow to the skin at night. So the skin will absorb products better at nighttime. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then also the skin is repairing itself. So that's when we know that cell division and cell renewal is going to increase during the nighttime.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the products that you use at night are really, really, really important then. Because
Exactly. Yeah.
so they're more effective, I guess, is what you're saying?
They're better absorbed. And
They're
so
better.
if you're
Okay.
thinking about, especially if we're thinking about products that are going to help with the skin barrier, products that are going to help with repair. So if we
Mm-hmm.
think about antioxidants, we think about retinols, we think about moisturizers,
Mm-hmm.
these are going to be really important in our nighttime skincare routine. The way I like to think about it is that our skincare routine should always complement what our skin wants to do. So in the morning, we're really looking at complementing protecting our skin. That's why we talk so much about sunscreen. We talk about antioxidants because that's what the skin is doing. Whereas at night,
Oh,
the skin is
okay.
working to repair itself and it's working to renew itself. So we know there's that increased cell turnover. We know that the skin barrier is a little bit impaired. It's more prone to losing water. So you just want to be, you want to provide your skin with, maybe that's when you use your retinol, maybe that's when you use your exfoliant to help with that cell turnover. But you also want to make sure that you're using a high quality moisturizer and something that's going to help lock in that moisture so
Mm-hmm.
that you're not waking up. Some people say, I wake up and my skin is just super dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're really prone to water loss at night compared to during the day.
So what do you recommend at night for a moisturizer? Do you typically would you recommend, I guess, maybe like a cream, like a thicker, like something?
Yeah, I would say for most people, obviously everyone's skin type is a little bit different, but usually I definitely recommend a moisturizer. So that's why I think one of the worst things you can do is wash your face and not put a moisturizer on top.
That little insight of using products to complement what your skin is already doing, that is the first I've ever heard of that. And that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense as to why you would, like, if your skin is trying to protect yourself from damage from the sun, it makes sense to use sunscreen and like a vitamin C, for instance, in the
Mhm.
morning for the antioxidant uh, properties, and then surface surface skin cell turnover at night with a retinoid. That makes so much sense. That's the first I've ever heard someone say that.
Oh, amazing.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, what a good little hack. So at night, you mentioned, actually, I actually am curious about this. Why is there an increase? And for those of you watching that may not know what transepidermal water loss is, maybe you could, explain what that means
Yeah.
and why that happens more at
Yeah.
night.
So transepidermal water loss is essentially we know that your skin is in communication with the environment, meaning that there's water in the environment and there's water in your skin, and there's always a connection between those two things. And so that's why people tend to feel like their skin looks better when they're like on a beach vacation. And that's because if there's more water or humidity in the atmosphere, it actually can push water into the skin. And so that's when your skin feels super hydrated and super plump. And the opposite can happen if the environment is really dry. So, if you live in the desert or it's New York City and it's very windy, the environment actually can strip water away from the skin. That's also why drinking water isn't enough to keep your skin hydrated. You have to actually add moisture to the skin and protect the skin barrier. So, it's not fully understood why transhypodermal water loss is higher in the evening, but the thought is because your skin is protected from the environment when you're sleeping, it doesn't have to focus as hard on maintaining water.
Oh,
So, if
okay.
you think about it, when you're out and about during the day, you're exposed to environmental elements. And so, one of the things that your skin's going to do is try to really keep water into the skin. It's actively doing that. I think sometimes we don't realize that most of the things happening are actively being done. It's not just like a passive process. Whereas when you're in bed at night and the temperature tends to be more moderate, your skin just it's essentially gets to relax a little bit. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to work as hard to hold on to moisture,
Mhm.
but that also means that it can be prone to losing moisture
Okay.
if you don't set yourself up correctly.
So, what do you recommend to your patients so that they don't suffer with
Yeah.
transepidermal water loss?
So I always recommend a high quality moisturizer, and that's going to be for someone who has oily skin and also for someone who has dry skin. So you want to focus on moisturizers that are designed to support the skin barrier. And so for someone with what's for someone with oilier skin, I would recommend like a Cetaphil lotion.
Mhm.
Whereas for someone with drier skin or for someone who might be using more harsh prescription retinoid products, I would recommend something more like a Cetaphil cream.
Gotcha.
And again, that can change depending on the season and
Mhm.
just like also what's the atmosphere in your apartment.
Mhm. So, what happens if someone doesn't wash their face at night or skips their nighttime routine? I know you mentioned
Yeah.
you're like, I'd rather someone not wash their
I like
face
that
than
might be
wash their face and
controversial.
not moisturize at night. But what would you say to those patients?
Yeah. So again, the point of the skincare routine is to support the skin and what it wants to do. And so when you wash your skin at night, you're removing dirt, you're removing makeup, and you're really allowing the skin to focus on repair and renewal. When you keep these irritants on the skin, the skin is still going to respond to those. Those cause inflammation. Those cause the skin to respond to it. You're not setting yourself up for the maximum benefits of your nighttime routine.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're wearing heavy makeup or sunscreen, this can actually lead to clogging of the pores. And so it can make acne worse.
So, it's not just being lazy, it's disrupting your skin's natural flow.
Exactly. Like
So,
your skin just wants to hang out and chill
yeah, don't
and
we
get
all? I
better.
mean, same.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to do. So don't skip your nighttime routine, y'all. Okay, so let's break it down. What is the ideal nighttime routine?
If you don't have a consistent nighttime routine, I think the best place to start is just a gentle cleanser and moisturizer.
Okay.
Oftentimes, my patients will come in and I'll ask what their nighttime routine is, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have one." And they're like,
Mm.
"I just wash my face and moisturize." And I'm like, "Oh, that's actually a routine. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually the
Mm-hmm.
most important part." And so, I love a gentle cleanser where you're going to feel like you're going to get the dirt, you're going to get the makeup, you're going to get the debris off, but we don't want to strip your skin. We want to keep your skin in a nice balanced state. And then I like moisturizers that focus on barrier repair.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Cetaphil. I love products that contain niacinamide. I love products that contain glycerin because they're going to add that water to the
Mm-hmm.
skin. So I would say gentle cleanser and moisturizer are step one. The next step is because we're talking about barrier repair, you can consider adding in some type of supportive serum. So maybe you add in a ceramide serum or
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to help support your skin
Okay.
barrier. And then I would say your third step is you can consider adding a retinoid or an exfoliant or, you know, as you even progress, maybe you have an alternation between retinoids and exfoliants within your
Okay.
routine. And the order that I always recommend is that you're going to do a gentle cleanser, and then you'll do what we call your treatment steps, which are usually your serum steps. And those will go from lightest to heaviest.
Mhm.
And then you'll always lock it in with a moisturizer as your last routine, last
Amazing.
step in your routine.
Yep. And then in the morning, I know the topic is on nighttime routine,
Yeah.
but for those
They go
listening
hand in
to,
hand. Yeah.
yeah, because you need both,
Yeah.
right? Like we talked about those morning products. What would you recommend in the morning?
Something very similar,
Okay.
but you would switch out your retinoid or acid for an antioxidant
Okay.
serum. So starting out, just gentle cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen. You'll still have your sunscreen in your
Yes.
morning routine.
Sunscreen's important.
And it's such an important step to find the sunscreen that you love. And so you may spend a lot of time on that first step
Mm-hmm.
before you find your perfect cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, but don't feel the need to like go and add a serum before you figure out that like base routine.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about serums and that treatment step, again, you can do something that's going to support the skin barrier and hyaluronic acid serum. But I also love an antioxidant serum in the morning just because that's going to support your sunscreen and help it protect your skin better.
Oh, so it helps support the sunscreen.
Yeah, so antioxidants, the way that they work, they're going to do two things. So one is we know that no sunscreen is 100% effective. So even with your SPF 50, you're still going to get some percentage of sun that comes through.
Mm-hmm.
And so your antioxidants are there to actually minimize the damage that little bit of sun gets through.
Oh, wow.
We know that pollution causes oxidative stress. And so your sunscreen's not going to protect you against pollution. And so
Oh.
your antioxidant is there to minimize the effects of pollution on the skin, which are becoming more and more relevant on a daily basis.
And for those watching, an antioxidant would be like a vitamin C serum.
A vitamin C serum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And vitamin C can be a potentially irritating product. And so for someone with sensitive skin, I always say you want to go with a sensitive skin brand. So Cetaphil is a brand that you trust, you love. If they're going to make a vitamin C, that's going to be one that you know is designed for sensitive skin, but you want to be mindful about not using something too aggressive.
And Cetaphil does have a vitamin C serum, by the way, which we just came out with recently. So that's exciting that we have that option for sensitive skin patients.
It really is because vitamin C has traditionally been really tricky for people with sensitive skin. And we all need it and we all want it and we all deserve it.
100%. I don't know if I'm crazy for this, but I swear my skin looks better when I wake up in the morning. Like when I first wake up,
Yeah.
my skin, I don't know if it's because I have like a film over my eyes, maybe, and I just like, it's like I have my own filter.
You're like, I haven't put my contacts in. I look
Yeah,
fantastic.
Like, oh my God, I look great. And it's like my eyes start to come. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. But I swear like my skin looks better in the morning. Is there something to that? Maybe like with blood flow? I don't know.
Maybe there is actually increased blood flow to the skin at night. I think you also must just have a really good nighttime skincare routine. So
I'm
your
not gonna
skin
lie.
is doing what it's supposed to be
I
doing.
do have a solid nighttime.
See? Yeah.
And honestly, what's funny is I feel like I actually spend more time getting unready
Yeah.
than I do getting ready.
Well, that's good because that's good for your skin.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I obviously wash my face, then I moisturize.
Yeah.
I use an eye serum. Actually, Cetaphil is a really good, our Healthy Renew line. It's our peptide line. There's an eye gel serum. If you haven't tried it,
Ooh, I haven't tried it.
Okay, we'll have to make
Okay.
sure you change that because it's it has a just like dewy look that's so nice. And then I will put on my retinoid at night. And then I'll put some healing ointment on my lips.
Perfect.
So I like, because you got to make sure, you can't forget about
People
lips.
forget
your
their lips.
skin, like your skin,
Yeah.
your lips, there's skin on your lips. Like you got to treat it all.
People forget about their lips. Yeah.
But one thing I need to be better about is my neck. That's one thing I
Same.
often forget about is my neck.
Same. I feel like, I mean, it's true. You really should be using your whole, with the exception of the retinoid, you should be using your whole skincare routine on the neck.
So why not? I know the neck is sensitive, but in theory, you would think the retinoid should go on your neck.
You would think, but it's because the neck doesn't have as many sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands are what make oil, and so they really help to make the face this just like really resilient piece of skin. It's why even when we think about lasers, you can typically do much more aggressive lasers and peels on the face than you can the neck.
Okay.
And so it's the same for retinoids. It happens all the time where my patients get a little too excited and they're like, I'm going to start using it on my neck every night. And you'll get a rash. Like you will get dry and irritated.
That's like, that makes so much sense because one thing I notice is when I get a spray tan and you exfoliate before a spray tan. Now I've gone to the chemical exfoliant route now that I've been in this role and learned so much. But previously I had, bad habits is like physical exfoliants.
Yeah.
So I would like scrub. And my neck, when I would scrub my neck, I would have like it would just make it worse because it would be so irritated. I'd have like I don't know, some sort of rash or something on my neck. And I could never get it to look normal. And I was like, well, the skin on my neck just must be different than...
It is. It's much more sensitive. So especially if you have sensitive skin, but even for people who have just like really oily, hardy skin, the neck is still way more sensitive, which... I mean, I'm super excited about the Cetaphil Hydrating and Firming Cream because I saw the before and afters on the neck.
I guess. Oh my gosh.
And they look really good. So that's the thing about the neck is you have to use products that are going to help with firming, that are going to help with repair, but that aren't going to be potentially irritating. But in the neck in general, I often say is like no man's land. So people have really good body routines. They have really good face routines. And then they just completely skip the neck.
Which is crazy because the neck, they say, for aging, it's like one of the biggest telltale signs, I guess, for someone's age is
the neck and the hands. Yeah.
Yeah, and the hands. Oh my gosh, the hands. We cannot forget about the hands. I know this episode is about nighttime routines, but like daytime, the sunscreen on the hands. Y'all driving the car.
Yeah.
You need to protect the hands.
It's true.
Protect the hands.
I have one sunspot and it's on my hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm like,
you're driving.
I got to do better.
I had driving gloves for a little bit. We've talked about this on the podcast before, actually, that truck driver photo.
Oh, I know.
And
that'll make you wear sunscreen.
It terrified me. It, like, traumatized me to the point I literally was like, I would wear gloves all the time because I was like, oh my God, like now I've kind of a little lazy, but I do try to wear sunscreen on my hands. But yeah, the hands people forget about and the neck. So
they're important. And so, yeah, it's a good idea to think about those when you're doing your nighttime routine.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm going to throw some social media claims at you.
Okay.
And then you tell us, yes, do it, or don't even think about it.
Let's do it.
You don't need to wash your face in the morning.
Oh, I hate this one. I know there are actually some derms who agree with this. I absolutely do not agree. And that's because your morning skincare routine is really important. When you use a gentle cleanser, it's going to better allow your products to penetrate. And so I think that your morning routine is more effective if you start it with a gentle cleanser. The key is gentle. Your morning routine you don't have to double cleanse. You don't have to use a foaming cleanser. You don't have to use anything too abrasive. But I do think you should always start your routine with a gentle cleanser.
Okay.
Especially if you have acne. We also sweat a little bit at night. And so, our pillows aren't 100% clean. Yeah. And so I swear by a gentle cleanser.
Yeah. Washing the pillows is a huge, huge thing. I'm actually so OCD with my pillowcases. I'm such a freak about it that I don't know if this is like a girl thing or what, but I have 1,000 pillows on my bed, like so many. And every night I'll sleep on one side of the pillow. Then the next night, I'll flip the pillow.
Okay.
Once that's done, I'll go to another pillow. I will never sleep on the pillowcase, like the side of the pillowcase twice. And I wash my sheets once a week. But if something happens, life gets in the way, and I can't, I'll put a t-shirt, like a clean t-shirt over my pillow as like a makeshift new pillowcase because your hair and everything
I will say having multiple pillows on the bed is actually really smart because I'm always like, I don't think it's practical to wash your sheets more than once a week. Mm-hmm. You're like, I just have them lined up for the week.
Yes.
How do you keep track of that though?
So I have my system. I have a system and I'll so I have I have 2 pillows on the left. I have
Mhm.
one in the middle and two here.
Yeah.
So I'll like line it up to know like, okay, I'll move one pillow to the center. The top one I know is like my next pillow. I'll sleep with this one, flip it, and then
Wow.
I'll move it to the other side. So it kind of like filters. And then by the time Sunday hits, which is when I wash my sheets, I know I've like gone through my pillows.
That is very impressive. I have never
Thank
heard
you.
that
And
before.
honestly, that's probably like the most put together I am in my life is my pillowcases. And mainly just because I'm so like, I had such bad acne growing up. And I really am a freak about anything that touches my face needs to be clean.
I love that.
Thank you. It's probably my
You don't
biggest
have to be that
flex.
intense, but I
No,
do
you
love
definitely
it.
don't. But it is like that is a flex for me because
It is.
I am not that put together in literally any other area of my life except for
That's
the
hard to believe.
pillowcases.
That's hard to believe.
But that is the one thing that I can brag about to my derm that oh my god. The next question is actually about pillowcases. It's not about
Okay.
washing your pillowcases, but it's sleep on a silk pillowcase for better skin.
Oh, I actually do think that you're going to get some marginal benefit both in your skin, but also especially for your hair if you use a silk or satin pillowcase versus a cotton pillowcase.
Okay.
And like definitely not like a flannel pillowcase or any rough material.
Okay. Well, so then when I do my t-shirt hack, that's no good.
It's not.
So wait,
It could
why
be better.
is the silk better?
It's friction. So essentially when you think about fabrics, silk just has very little friction. And so that's why particularly for the hair, it's good because we know that friction on the hair can essentially disrupt the hair shaft and cause your hair to look dry and frizzy the next day. But to some degree, it's the same with the skin. If something's rubbing up against your skin over and over, because we're going to, you're going back and forth and back and forth. And so if something's rubbing up on your skin, it does dry the skin out a little. That like cotton from the pillowcase is going to absorb some of the moisture from your skin. Whereas the silk, because there's not a lot of friction, whatever you've put on your skin gets to stay on your skin.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But it's marginal benefit. It's not,
it's on
life changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Beauty sleep is a real thing.
Absolutely. I think that's what we just talked about this whole time is your skin is working. And so honestly, for like the biggest lazy girl hack, lazy boy hack, lazy anyone hack is if you want really nice skin and you want to optimize your skin, just go to sleep. Just stop.
Go to sleep. Oh my God, tell me twice. I will gladly do that.
Just stop scrolling and just go to sleep because your skin is going to repair itself. There's actually data that shows that people who are chronically short on sleep, actually they age faster. And it's because we know that your DNA repair and cell turnover are happening or increased when you're asleep.
I love all these facts about why sleep is so great because I'm like, any excuse to tell me to take a nap or go to bed earlier, I'm here for it. And it actually is crazy, all the, like, not just benefits to getting a good night's rest, but even the repercussions of not sleeping, like you're saying, like aging or a whole slew of things when you're not getting enough sleep. It's like
memory, weight gain.
Yeah.
Just mood.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mental health sleep plays a big role in mental health too.
Yeah.
So make sure you're sleeping, guys. Make sure you're getting that beauty sleep. I love it.
Sleep is probably my flex.
Sleep is your flex.
I get a lot of sleep. People make
how much do you sleep?
Like 9 to 10 hours a night.
What? Oh my gosh, I am jealous.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. 9 to 10?
Yeah, I was like, I'm so excited for this
Always?
topic. I love sleep.
Like every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you stay asleep?
Not always. That's actually very fascinating. Sometimes I do wake up in the middle of the night, but it doesn't bother me. Like I can like be awake for a little bit and just be in the dark, and I guess it's a little meditation or a little relaxation. But yeah, I'm in the bed for like 9 to 10 hours. I know. It's crazy.
So impressive.
It's really crazy.
That's so impressive. So what time do you go to bed?
Okay, well, this is embarrassing. I go to bed at 8.
At 8?
Yeah.
And you've always been this way.
I actually haven't. I actually started it by accident because my son was having
I
a
accidentally fell asleep. It's called narcolepsy. And it's a thing.
my son was having a hard time sleeping. And so I would start trying to like just help him ease into sleep. And then I would get sleepy and I would fall asleep.
Mhm.
And then I realized that I was naturally waking up at my desired wake up time. And I was like, oh, this must be what my body wants.
Okay, I'll be honest. I think I'm the same. I know I was like choked, but like only because my schedule like I feel like my schedule doesn't allow it. But like on the weekends, if I
Yeah.
just let myself sleep, I do sleep 9 to 10 hours.
There is data that shows that most women need somewhere between 9 to 10 hours.
It's just like, where's the time though?
I know. It's so hard.
That's the problem.
I'm
It's not like because obviously I would love to sleep. I love sleeping. I love it.
I know.
Right now I get between 7 to 8 hours. I think
Which is good.
my sweet spot is 9. Like
Yeah.
I will always sleep
Same.
9 hours, 9+ hours, but like 9, I feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 6 hours last night, so
I know. It is really hard. And so sometimes my life is a mess, but I slept 9 hours.
but at least you got your sleep.
Exactly.
Like everything else could be.
But I'm calm
Like
and I'm
it.
like ready
But
for
at least
it.
I feel good. I'm well rested, and my skin looks good.
Yeah.
So I love it. That's
Exactly.
amazing. That's amazing. So bottom line, if you're skipping your nighttime skincare routine, you're kind of ghosting your skin, it's kind of rude, right? Just give it 2 to 3 minutes. It'll be worth it. I promise. Thank you so much, Dr. Love, for being on the podcast. Where
Thank you
can
for having me.
people find you on social media?
You can find me on social media, any platform, at Elyse Love MD. So ELYSE LOVE MD.
Amazing. Any last words, final thoughts for the audience before we wrap up?
I think my final thoughts are just skincare is much simpler than the world makes it out to be. You
Mhm.
really just want to support your skin and what your skin already knows how to do. And so it's not all on you, and it doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be 1,000 steps.
Period. I love it. I love it. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Remember, not the way I do. It's getting late September.